have lost you, get to thinking why we used to be so high in life. Without you, I don't feel alive. So I'll just keep on being high, high, higher than the sky. Tell me, are you there for me even when I try? Keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. I know that you're feeling forsaken, mistaken, wish you were another man. I remember feeling awakened, mistaken if you thought I'm in that place where you want me to be. But I don't want to want you back. So it's easy to see when I'm high all the time. 'Cause I have lost you, get to thinking why we used to be so high on life. Without you, I don't feel alive. So I just keep on being high, high, higher than the sky. Tell me, are you there for me even when I try? Keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. I know that you're feeling forsaken, mistaken, wish you were another man. I remember feeling awakened, mistaken if you thought I'm in that place where you want me to be. But I don't want to want you back. So it's easy to see when I'm high all the time. 'Cause I have lost you, get to thinking why we used to be so high on life. Without you, I don't feel alive. So I just keep on being high, high, higher than the sky. Tell me, are you there for me even when I try? Keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. Without you, keep on being high. Lying in the darkness, wondering if you're heartless. 'Cause you don't let me see the light. That you don't really want me, you just wanna call me. But only on the lonely nights. You give me just enough that I don't give up. You give me just enough to keep me begging for your love. Locked away, you save me for a rainy day. Locked away, till you need me, I'll stay. Locked away, and you don't care, it hurts to wait. Locked away, locked away, locked away, locked away. Locked away. I cannot escape this, even though you make it. You make it seem like I'm still free. But baby, just admit it, you were fucking missing. 'Cause you like the hold you have on me. So you give me just enough locked away.
Hello and welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We have more ECAC here for you tonight, but now it's Halo instead of Rocket League. Boise State did end up picking up the win on Rocket League, but now we've transitioned to Halo semifinals versus Albion, which is the ranked 5 seed in this tournament, and Boise State is still the ranked 1 seed. Now, the last time we faced Albion, we did 3-0 them. So they might be looking for a little bit of a revenge matchup here, but they will have had to significantly improve if they want to take down Boise State tonight. I'm your host, Colby D'Angelo Alloway, and joining me to call all of the action is Hayden Vagar Dalton. And what maps are we expecting to be picked or banned from these two teams?
Well, I believe that the first ban coming out from us would be Bazaar. Mm-hmm. It's a map that we don't get very much practice on, as well as our Aquarius would be the other capture the flag map where you feel like we're very confident on. So it's just kind of a no-brainer for us to just get that map out of the way and out of the pool, so we don't have to risk a team that really knows their Bazaar to pick it. And then I believe the first map most likely is going to be Streets. It's just our map. Anytime we usually start on Streets, and we just seem to roll it every time. So.
And Boise State does get to pick first map, so it would make sense for us to pick the most broken map for us, which is Streets. And tonight for ECAC Collegiate Halo, it is a 4v4, best of 5. Each team bans a map, and the losing team picks next mode, but the winner will pick the map. So Boise State, we're expecting to have a little bit of map control tonight, just because the winners are still in control of that even after the game mode has been chosen. And transitioning right from our event, let's look up the lineups tonight for ECAC Collegiate Halo. And these are pretty standard lineups for us here tonight. We do have... Actually, it looks like that's a little bit of Overwatch here. Tonight the lineups will be Reality, Zeke, Mortar, and Calvin D there. So those are some of the big players that we've seen roll all these other teams in the Halo ECAC tournament, and these players will specifically benefit from Doc's keys to the game, which in Halo is to control that high ground, rotate power items, you need a team target, and you need to have sweaty comms. And Doc's keys to the game are brought to us by Drop-In Gaming. Drop-In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. And before we get into the matchup, we actually do have confirmation that they banned Recharge, and just like you were talking about, we did ban Bazaar. I mean, obviously. So, Streets looking the most likely. What do you expect from Boise State on Streets?
They just have such good control of all the pickups on the map. We've seen both Reality and Mortar, just the Stalker rifle, one of the spawns. It's a 50-50 if we get it, I believe. I don't know if you can kind of choose which side you want beforehand, but one side has the Stalker rifle, and we've just seen both them just put that weapon to such great use on the map, as well as the Bulldog shotgun. Seen Calvin especially get it, just they run a rampage through, and then that just kind of snowballs the rest of the game.
And because if you can get that and get set up, it's just kind of like, what are we going to do? Boise State is all hunkered down in Streets, and I mean, to the surprise of no one, here we are on Streets.
Yep, got this subway area that every time you see it, it kind of looks like it's part of a whole different map. It looks like this is on Aquarius, just with the white tiling and stuff with the foliage here as well. It's just, you think you're on Aquarius for a second, and then you get out here, and it's just a complete different map.
And we've actually seen Boise State on Streets, on Oddball specifically, camp that subway. Just in that close quarters, we've seen them do a lot of things to great effect here. What about this hallway here as we walk around? What are some of these strategies that you're seeing that Boise State could use?
Yeah, for Slayer, it's a little bit different because, like this police station is such a good spot on Oddball, but in the case of Slayer, it's almost never like used. You rarely go in it. Sometimes you even forget it's in the back of the map there. But then like somewhere like, yeah, as it's highlighting this little arcade, this seems to be where a lot of the action is. You got those plasma grenades right there. This is kind of just you get so much high ground here, and it's such a high traffic area that there's always fighting around here constantly. And if a team can kind of just hold it, they usually are in a fairly good position to just kind of rotate where they need to be, because you have all these high ground, or all the high ground access to the power weapons on the center of the map, because you can either jump down or just shoot down at opponents.
And what is the significance of power weapons?
Well, so at the very center of the map is the big one. It's the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
And in competitive, it only comes with 2 rockets, but those are basically, especially in Slayer where kills are the objective, the rocket launcher is basically just saying, yeah, you get 2 free points, you get 2 free kills just because of how powerful it is. So it's it's a very advantageous thing to contest that power weapon early, because it can swing the momentum of like the lower power weapons. There we go.
Yep.
Like the Bulldog and the Stalker rifle, so you can get to those spawns by using the rocket launcher to take them, and then kind of just keeping the momentum on your side with the weapon advantage.
And just like we were talking about earlier, Boise State easily rolls with that Stalker sometimes if they're able to get that, so maybe using the rocket launcher will be a strategy to get into that. What are the Bulldog strategies that Boise State likes to use?
Just the Bulldog, like, I want to say there's not much strategy with it, but there definitely is. But it's just like you just want to get in close with people, because it's I believe a 2-hit kill if you hit both shots perfectly, and then if not, it's usually a 3-hit kill. But it's just get in there and fight, and just you just want to be up close and in their face and everything. So it's just good to have like any time you get in these close quarter engagements.
So it actually goes a little bit away from Doc's keys to the game. You don't want to be on high ground with a Bulldog. You want to be on the low ground in their face with that Bulldog. And we do see our matchup again. It is still Boise State versus Albion College. And we talked briefly before the cast a little bit about the new map that's coming out, which is Catalyst.
Oh, yeah. That coming with Season 2, it looks to be a pretty interesting map. It's a Forerunner-themed map, so they're using a lot of like the assets that we really don't see. Like there are a lot in the campaign, and I think on a couple of the big team battle maps, but nothing in the smaller ones. So it'll just be a nice like breath of fresh air for everyone to see, compared to all the 4v4 maps right now. And then I believe it is the only 4v4 map that has 2 power weapon spawns on it.
Oh my gosh.
So I believe it has the rocket launcher on it, and then the energy sword. So I have a feeling that like it's going to be an interesting map to see what teams prioritize early on, and kind of the strategies that come out around it. I don't know what modes it's going to be specifically for coming into ranked, but it'll be interesting to see.
What are your strategies? Are you rocket launcher or are you power sword?
The energy sword is a lot more fun, but the rocket launcher just has the advantage.
Fair. Fun versus functionality. You kind of have to pick between the two.
Yep.
What are you the most excited about in terms of strategy on the map beyond seeing what teams will prioritize?
One thing, and it's not quite strategy, but there's also a bunch of new modes coming with Season 2. So I'm curious which of those will actually join the ranked roster of modes. I know King of the Hill's coming with it, so I'm hoping that we'll see King of the Hill or another mode that we saw a little bit of, like during one of the events called Attrition. I'm hoping both those come to ranked, so we get a little more variance than the 4 modes we have right now. But at the same time, I can see if people would prefer to just kind of have the smaller pool so they can like learn them better. But King of the Hill sounds like a really interesting ranked mode.
So then my next question: what does King of the Hill entail?
So yeah, you have like a big zone that just spawns like in a random position, and then just you sit on it and you get points, and you don't want the enemy on it, and then occasionally it just rotates to another spot, and you got to go run over and go and
make a mad dash, possibly through the enemy team.
Yeah, and so it sounds like a lot of fun, and it's been a staple of Halo for so long. So the fact that it's finally coming to Halo Infinite is very nice to see.
And what about attrition?
Attrition, that was they showed off a little bit of it. They mentioned it would be coming back, which I believe they'll finally will. But it's Team Slayer, but you have a set pool of lives for your team. Mm-hmm. And so when one of you dies, it takes a point away from the pool.
Everybody.
So it wants a little more strategy. It's not just, okay, I'm going to run in and just trade kills over and over. And then once you're out of lives, you're dead, but your teammates can revive you. Once that happens, like you have a little like marker on the ground, and you can get revived during that time, but only after your team's out of lives. So. And if all you get eliminated, then you lose. But yeah.
How does the revive work if you're out of all of those lives? Like, do you get negative points for going down again, or you just lose if you can't res people?
You just lose if you're out of people, or if everyone goes down. So
yeah.
But it just kind of gives that little bit of like help to the if you're down like to one person and you're able to get off that revive, it's just something to kind of help out the losing team in a like last ditch effort. So it kind of like makes it a little what's the word, a little more exciting, instead of just like, oh, it's just me versus 4 of them and I gotta try and take them all down. It's like maybe I can get the sneaky revive off or something like that.
Or possibly it could be if you have a single member go down, the enemy team can absolutely camp that, expecting you to go for the res. So it could be kind of like a trap, which I think is an interesting strategy. Do you think that would be viable?
Yeah, I would say so. And that's why I'd like to see it in the ranked playlist, because it sounds like a mode that has a lot of depth to it.
Yeah.
And be interesting to see what teams like develop strategies for it and all that. So, I think just these new modes can like add a lot to the ranked roster right now.
Do you think there would be anything holding them back from being ranked game modes?
The main one I can think of is for King of the Hill is you'd probably, or it'd be really tough. It depends on how it works, but like the randomness of where the hill moves to could, like I could see people complaining about that for a competitive environment if it's just completely random where it shows up. And so like if it sometimes like happens to spawn next to all 4 members of one team instead of another, and then it's like, well, that we couldn't prevent that. There was nothing we could have predicted that for that to happen. And so that's the biggest hurdle I think for that mode.
What do you think about having several spots between which those are randomized?
Yeah, I think that could definitely help it so teams can like,
you at least have an idea of possibly where it could spawn, right?
And if you have enough of variation, then it's like, I think it could be pretty good because you can just have like, okay, it could spawn in these areas. Let's just kind of spread out and see where we have to go to. So.
And we are actually having a little bit of difficulty in the lobbies. So while we're doing that, can you tell us about the other game modes that might come to competitive with Season 2?
Oh, I'm trying to remember the whole list. There was quite a few of them. One I'm hoping for, but I know it'll never happen, is Ranked Infection.
Ranked Infection?
Yeah, they haven't added Infection to the game yet, which it's been in Halo for a long time, but it's basically like one side has. Okay, it looks like we're going to be heading into game here soon, but so one side has energy swords, and the other side has shotguns and pistols. And whenever someone dies to one of the energy sword people, they turn to that side until it's either they survive the time limit or everyone is infected. So it's just just for fun mode, but I'd love to see a ranked version of it. Some real competitive infection.
I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds like an excellent competitive game mode. Everybody running around chasing each other with energy swords and/or pistols.
Yeah.
And so as we prepare to get back into this matchup, can you remind us of the strategies that Boise State will be looking to use on streets?
Yeah, I think early prioritization of the rocket launcher.
Yep.
And the Bulldog. If we spawn on the subway side, getting that stalker rifle on Reality or Mordor right away will be huge in achieving those other 2 goals. But that's just down to, I think it's luck. I don't know if you can pick which side you spawn on beforehand, just based on the lobby. And then, yeah, just maintaining these power weapons, making sure to rotate to them before they come back up. Like a few seconds early. You don't want to just be like, oh, the rocket launcher just spawned, I need to start heading over there. No, you want to be there 10 seconds before it spawns and fighting around it and securing that area. As well as just always being there to trade out kills with your teammates. It's as Doc's keys are. You want to, just bring down people with overwhelming force here. Just like that, we got the rocket launcher on Calvin.
So far, Boise State is up 3, now just up 2, as Albion College will score their first elimination.
Calvin with the rocket launcher, just looking around, but not finding anyone. It's going to be a bad day for anyone who gets in their way here.
We've seen Boise State pop off with the rocket launcher a lot. Now Boise State's up 2, now up 3 as we go 5-2. First rocket launcher shot comes out.
Just like that. BSU brings down 4 of them now. Bringing out the Colts carbine. There's that last rocket launcher shot. Calvin with the double here and on the killing spree right now.
9-3. Calvin D has been the carry a little bit for Boise State here. 3 kills away from anybody else in lobby.
Fortunately, Zeke goes down there. Shields were just about out, and there was nowhere to run. Reality managing to go and trade the kill out, though, for him, which is what you always want to see. If one member of your team is going to go down, you want to get that return kill.
And especially if you're up in kills, you can afford to trade. Boise State now up 13-5.
Reality gets the Bulldog off that with a great suppressing fire, and the second kill being brought by Zeke. Calvin just moving in over by police station.
A little bit of nade spam in there, seeing what they can do. They will get eliminated.
Zeke trading them out, though. Looks like, Zeke unfortunately was not able to see him, and the Bulldog.
Ooh. Bulldog, just like you were talking about, really hurts in those close quarters environments.
Calvin getting the nade kill to trade back for Zeke here. Just sitting there waiting for their shields to recharge. Zeke with some long distance shots.
We do a little bit of nade spamming here. Zeke is going to get taken down. Now, Albion College has really been pulling it up. It's now 17-12, only a 5-point lead on the side of Boise State here.
And Mortar, they get them, but they get themselves in the process, which is better than not getting them at all, I guess. Sir Paradox, in the rocket launcher, gets them right as they were running out of there. Calvin here, just seeing what they can see. No one's really coming out of here, though. Looks like there's 2 in police station.
Ooh, gonna come in and can't save your ally, but you can get both of the eliminations immediately after that, showing like Calvin's finally gonna get taken down, but 7 kills away from the next closest people in any of the lobbies. Calvin's really carrying right now on Slayer.
Yeah. Calvin's just been on a rampage. It seems like anywhere they go, at least one person's going down with them.
And in that case, it was 2.
Yeah, I believe it was 3, too. They got the one who got them.
Yeah, you're right.
So, Reality with the far-range plasma grenade. Don't think it was a stick, but still impressive.
Ooh. Kevin now up 13 kills going in here, and only 2 assists, whereas Reality has 8 assists. So it seems like there are several members on Boise State putting in some work to have this massive 10-point lead.
Reality with the double here. Moving up, I believe. Looking for, yep, there's the Bulldog.
Ooh, gotta get in the corridor with that.
Yeah, Mordor on the flank here. They might, unfortunately, Zeke goes down, but Mordor's still on this flank. May be able to get this last member. Yep, they slide right around the corner, right into them.
Mortar's waiting clutches as their Boise State
gets the rocket launcher. Pops their shields with it, but doesn't get the kill.
We Which is not necessarily what we're looking for. We're looking for, gets killed with it as well. That is not what Boise State is looking for. We're still in a 10-point lead, though.
Calvin gets the kill, but they actually stuck Calvin with that grenade. I don't think that was even their intention. Calvin just happened to leap over that ledge right as they threw it.
Yep. A little bit of accidental explosion.
Zeke manages to bring one down. Mortar with another. Reality, unfortunately, one burst away from getting that kill. Picking the Bulldog back up.
Boise State has widened their lead. They are now 12 ahead with 7 minutes and 9 seconds remaining. Ooh, Zeke's going to go down, though.
Here we are. And Reality gets that one, I believe. Reality goes down to a grenade right after that, though. Mortar takes the shot and then realizes there's more than a couple there, so they decide to back off. Calvin,
understandably so.
Looking for the kill. Unfortunately, doesn't find it.
Just barely doesn't hit enough of their shots there. But Calvin's still 5 ahead of anybody else in lobby here. Or 3 ahead, excuse me. There are a couple members like Reality and Sir Paradox that are closing that gap.
Mortar with the Bulldog here, just bringing him down. Calvin with another one. And then it looks like all the members of Albion are respawning in Subway, and Mortar's just going to be pressing W mouse 1 and just charging into there.
And why wouldn't you? Boise State is 2 kills away from victory here, and we know where they're at.
Calvin finds 2. Luckily, one of them didn't turn over and shoot at him, or I don't think Calvin... Oh, as I say that.
As you say that, Calvin's going to go down anyway. Boise State slowly losing this lead, but they only have 1 more kill, so they can afford to make a lot of mistakes right now.
Yeah, they just need
just be as aggressive as possible. Yep,
and there
it is.
Mortar picks up the Killjoy to finish it off as well. What a good first match there. It was a little closer than I was expecting.
That was a lot closer than our first matchup against Albion College, I'll say that for sure. And the Idaho Army National Guard is a sponsor of Boise State here. And this match is presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuardGaming. And match 1. A lot closer than we were expecting. That seems to be a trend tonight in these ECAC semifinals match. What are you expecting in terms of game mode for Boise State picking this? Because it will be Albion picking the next map.
Ooh, that'll be a tough one. I think Boise State definitely excels at oddball and capture a flag. I'd say those are their 2 strongest ones. We've seen them do good on strongholds, but there has also been times where they've kind of like stalled out and like made matches a little closer than they needed to be. But I think they excel at oddball, so I would not be surprised if we see that coming up here.
What are some good and bad oddball maps that Albion... I mean, we got to assume if Albion thinks we're going to pick oddball, they got to pick the maps that are bad for oddball, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we just got in here. It's going to be live fire for the map, and oddball is the mode, so...
just like we were talking about?
So, yeah, I don't know if you could pick Streets a second time, because the only 2 maps that we had that could be played on oddball were Streets and live fire, since Recharge was banned. So, live fire is a good map for us. I feel like we don't see enough live fire for oddball. It seems to always be Streets, but it's a very interesting map for oddball, seeing as you have the ledges here.
You can throw the oddball off the ledges if you're going to go down, right?
Yep, and it resets the ball. They're in the tunnel system in the middle of the map, so yeah,
Seems
there's
petty.
You know, you got to do what you got to do.
You're absolutely right. You got to do what you got to do, and sometimes that's being a little bit petty here. What are the Boise State oddball strats other than possibly yeeting it off of the ledge?
Boise State does a really good job of not just picking up the oddball at the first opportunity. As important as it is to actually like pick it up to get the points, it's like creating that space, because when someone's holding it, you're going to be in a 3v4 because they can't use their weapon. So Boise State does a really good job of just like making space, going fighting for a bit, making sure they get good control, get good weapons, and then they kind of regroup with the oddball and get those points after they have the power weapons in hand.
Yep. You get the oddball points after you already have won the right to do so. You need to win the fight first. Are there any specific camping spots that would make defending the oddball easier?
In this fly through for a second, we'll actually see one. That big tower right there. There's a lot of people. As soon as it tilts left, yeah, that tower. A lot of people like to hide on that balcony, and then you get people that can kind of sit around there and use that high ground to their advantage, as well as it makes it hard for them to get to you without. Or really quickly to surprise you, and you can always just chuck it off into the water behind you if you're going to lose it. From
Plan B! Yeets it out the window.
Toss it as far as you can. Give it your best fastball throw. And then another one would be... I don't believe they're going to show it in this fly-through. Yeah, it's going to turn right. To the left of there, instead of the right, there's another little area. It's got a big grass field around it. And then it's also got another ledge to throw it off of. You'll see a theme there with that.
You got to camp the ledges.
Yeah. And it just makes it difficult for people to approach you and kind of keep them at bay. And then, yeah, by the time they do get to you, you've probably tossed it off the edge. So...
Especially approaching a big open field or a high ground tower. They can see you coming, and if they can't shoot you, they can sure as heck prepare by throwing the oddball off the map. Do you think this map is a map that would benefit the two new game modes that might possibly come to competitive?
Yeah, I think specifically King of the Hill, because we've seen Strongholds, which is kind of like King of the Hill. It's got the points that
modified.
And so just the way Strongholds plays on live fire, especially, I think King of the Hill would adapt really well to that. And it just kind of adds some more variance to it. Kind of get people to move, especially with Stronghold. It's the 3 static spots; they never move, so. You kind of go to the same 3 areas all the time, and then that far right corner of the map is just left all by its lonesome. So it'll be kind of nice to have some variance in where the objectives are and kind of moving around and take different spots that you normally wouldn't go to.
Do you think that in King of the Hill potentially there would be stronghold points as one of the options for King of the Hill to go on?
Yeah, most likely they would still use those 3, but then they can have a lot more. Like having one underneath, like in that tunnel system, could be interesting. One where the active camo spawns, there we go, would be a good one. And then, and this fly through that little ledge to the left, that right next to the water here, barely anyone goes to that spot in most modes. I think Slayer is the one that you do see people go there, but just having those in interesting spots where not a lot of action usually does happen can really change the flow of a map that kind of gets very cut and dry, you do the same thing every time. So yeah, I think it'd be interesting.
So it looks like this update might be coming at exactly the right time. If everything is kind of cut and dry and starting to feel a little bit stale, it might be time to revitalize that. What do you think this map would look like on attrition?
On attrition, that'd be a very interesting one, because you see teams, from what the little I saw of attrition during the event, is teams either play really reserved, they kind of sit in their own little area and just hold it, or they play really aggressive. Ooh. You just want to go for those kills, kind of sweep them, and then
play
when
they
Slayer. Yeah, just play it like a Slayer if you're confident in winning those fights and making sure you don't burn too many of your lives in the process. I think this is a pretty good map for that, because this is one of the premier Slayer maps that you see a lot of teams go on to. So I think it would play very well for Slayer.
And do you think, are you a personal subscriber to the attack strat or the defensive strat?
I like the attack strat. It's kind of fun to just go in and just play it like you would a Slayer match, all the way until you run out of lives and you're like, oh boy, maybe I did need to play a little more reserved.
I mean, just hit more of your shots than the enemy team, and you'll win attrition, right?
Yep, exactly. Should add that to Doc's keys of the game here.
We'll have to have a modified version of Doc's keys as we go in. And we are actually having some more lobby difficulties here. So, have you seen a lot of the Catalyst maps?
They did a little bit of a fly-through for it, kind of like what we're seeing here with Live Fire. It looks really interesting. It's got a lot of... this will be great for oddball. There's a ton of ledges on it. It's like
ledges.
The Forerunner design aesthetic like has a lot of like these like narrow catwalks with very big bottomless pits around them.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's not OSHA approved standards. So
you're never very far from being able to reset the oddball and send it back to the middle of the map.
Yeah. So that's why I think we're most likely going to see a lot of like Stronghold and Slayer is what I'm guessing. I could see teams wanting oddball for it, but then, yeah, you'd probably be resetting the ball a lot. I don't believe it's going to be a capture the flag map just from what I've seen of the layout.
Why not?
It's just not... I'm trying to think of the word. There's not, like, a good spot for both the flags to be. Just from how the map, like, plays out. I feel like it's definitely more suited for, like, the spawns to kind of always be rotating instead of, like, just having the two set spawns. Which you see in Capture the Flag, which, yeah, the Capture the Flag maps, they have just kind of a different layout. That's why I believe they're only for Capture the Flag in ECAC. Like, you can only play Bazaar and Aquarius with Capture the Flag. At least we haven't seen any Slayer or Oddball or any of that with those maps, so that is my assumption.
And Aquarius is one of the other maps that are good for other game modes, so... you kind of have to pick what you have. And we are still having a little bit of lobby bugs, so we are going to cut really, really quickly to a break so that we can get into this next matchup.
With my heart wide open, I can see who I'll be. But these passing moments always fly in front of me. When we become a part of a world we have never explored, and you find someone and start to believe everything you ignore. I wanna live for the moment. I wanna bend before I
And we are back live at the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena for some ECAC Halo. The lobby bugs have been worked out at this point, and we are going to go straight into game.
Oh, yep, here we are. We got Mortar with the sniper rifle already. Immediately 3 kills on the side of Boise State here. And the oddball. So Boise State already starting out strong here. Looks like a trade right there. Boise State gets the oddball, heading to the tower here. Zeke just kind of chilling, just keeping his eye out for...
As you do with the oddball.
And there we are, the ball gets thrown off the ledge.
Gonna make you work for it.
Yeah, well, we'll have to try and keep track of how many times this ball gets thrown off the edge here. We already got 1 within like the first 2 minutes, so...
Yep, and now at this point, Albion has taken control of the oddball. 9 now tied with Boise State, going up 12, still climbing here. Boise State needs to do something to take this oddball.
Oh, do not want to get in melee range of the oddball.
You definitely don't.
It swings faster than anything else in the game.
It does a lot of damage, too.
Yep, it's 2 swings. I believe, yeah, that's about the only thing you can do with the oddball, but it does a very good job at it.
But you know, if you wait around that corner exactly like they did and just wait for somebody to come to you and 2-tap them, worked pretty well.
The oddball just chilling in this corner. And just like that, all 4 members of Albion go down to 2 members of Boise State.
Pretty good job by Boise State. They just hit much more of their shots, take down all 4 of those. We are now 25% and climbing to Albion's 29.
Ooh, was that a stick? No.
Not quite. Barely misses the stick. Calvin D does still have the oddball, though, so we are still earning points.
Mortar with the mangler here. Gets the shield break, but doesn't find the headshot. Looks like ball got reset.
That will end up costing them their life there. This is that tower that you were talking about. Boise State members just are having an unfortunate time walking into 2 members of Albion at once.
Yeah, one of them has the active camo. Yeah, ooh. Zeke just barely.
Spotted out.
Just like that.
We were 42% in climbing while we were in the game before. We are back in game. Now we still have it.
Calvin gets the trade there. Goes down, brings one with him. Heat Wave not able to connect there, and the Heat Wave will go to Mortar now. Only 3 rounds left in it, though.
Boise State is halfway to victory. That's a lot of missed shots there, as that member of Albion's just going to jump over and juke them all.
Oh, gets the back smack there for the insta-kill. And the sniper. Unfortunately, they had to drop the oddball here.
Well, just like you were saying, it's managing the fight and trying to win, and with a pretty significant 20-point lead here, even as Albion continues to climb, Boise State can afford to slowly win the fight.
Brings them down there. Oh, the Heat Wave again. Used as the repulsor to kind of get them away from them. Unfortunately, they do go down, though. Mortar gets to the body shot, but unfortunately wasn't able to get the headshot.
And with nobody have picked up the ball on the side of Boise State here, that's 52 out, and it looks like we are just going to be taken out of game for a little bit. Man, these lobby issues are really plaguing the team tonight. That is a whole game crash on this in this competitive lobby here, and this is something that has been plaguing Halo Infinite from the beginning of the November release here. So hopefully that will be fixed in the Season 2 update. Boise State is winning, but the gap they're winning by is slowly narrowing as we reset and try to get everybody back into game. Actually, we cannot join the game yet, so we're just going to go straight to a break.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
like you're losing track. I know your heart bleeds. Don't lose your mind. Just let it be, let it be. Know you're dying inside. I know it gets harder. Days get longer. But close your eyes. It's gonna be alright. I know it gets harder. Days get longer. But close your eyes. It's gonna be alright. I know it gets harder, days get longer. Close your eyes, it's gonna be alright. I know it gets harder, days get longer. But close your eyes, it's gonna be alright. Inside Holding tight while it lasted. I thought that we were forever. I didn't know any better. Took a second chance, trusted you again. I feel shattered. Broken strings, cause you play me like a violin. Shame on me for all your 7 deadly sins. Had it all, but you craved attention. Drowning in your own reflection. Put me down just to see me get back up again. 6 feet under and you're ready to give all the pain. If I was your new addition, you make me part of your equation. Shattered from the past, wish you were my last. Shatter me to pieces like broken glass. Frozen looking at pictures that we took back in the summer. I thought that I would remember how we used to feel, but this isn't real.
Hello and welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. You are still watching our coverage of the Halo ECAC semifinals versus Albion. Boise State won first round and did end up winning oddball, though it was close. It ended up being 2-1. Albion took the first round and Boise State took the remaining 2. I'm still your host, Colby D'Angelo Alloway, and joining me to call all of the action is still Hayden Vagar Dalton. And there has been a lot of action to call tonight, both in game and out of game.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a close match there. Albion actually getting one. They won that first one, but we managed to bring it back with the next two. So going into this next one, we'll just have to see what comes up.
We did pull off the reverse sweep there, which was very, very nice. And just a reminder of Doc's keys to the game because, you know, it's been a little bit. And so we'd like to remind our players that Doc's keys to the game in Halo, you need to control that high ground. You need to rotate power items. You need to team target and sweaty comms. And Doc's keys to the game are brought to us by Drop-In Gaming. Drop-In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. And we do still have a little bit before we get into our next match, so we're going to go back to our player lineups. This is the same lineup we've been running all night. It will be Reality, Zeke, Mortar, and Calvin D. Goblin is a little bit of an error there, but it is still Robert on that Reality there that has been doing so well tonight. And tonight's lineups are brought to you by Count. Count's Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and enables personalized customer experiences for more than 9,000 leading brands. This is the dream team. This is the dream team that's been pulling it out all night. They did end up winning first round, and they did win oddball. We don't yet know the game mode, but can you remind us of some maps that Boise State would like to run as the winner of last round?
Okay, actually in here, it looks like it's
sure
going to be Aquarius and with Capture the Flag, which I believe it was either that or going to Strongholds with either Streets or Live Fire would be the other two possibilities. So it's not a big surprise that it went to Capture a Flag. I believe if we chose mode or map and either chose Capture Flag or Aquarius, it would just make it so it is Capture Flag or it is Aquarius. So,
yep.
Yeah, that seems like it's a favored one for Boise State. We're very comfortable on Aquarius. Yeah. We have a lot of strategies that we know how to implement on Aquarius, especially with Capture Flag. We've seen just so many good rotations, and the whole team feels very comfortable on the map.
So even though Albion was the one to pick the game mode, they might have just walked into Boise State's clutches here because this is something that we are very comfortable on. Now walk us through the specific strategies that make Boise State such a dominating team capture the flag on Aquarius.
One thing that we see a lot of with Boise State, and it's not just on Capture Flag, but it really shines in Capture Flag, is they're able to play so far apart, yet always be watching each other's backs, always ready for those trade kills, always ready to support another player by focusing the same target. But they're also not anywhere near each other. They could be up high, down low, across the map, and they always seem to be in a spot where they can help their team, which with Capture Flag especially shines, and Aquarius, because it's such an open map that having that coverage really gives your team those openings to actually get into their base, take their flag, and then escort it back to your base, because it's almost like you have to win 3 team fights. You have to win the original to get to about the mid to 3/4 up the map to get to the flag, another team fight to take the flag, and a team fight to bring the flag back. So that just really helps Boise State to achieve all 3 of those.
Because you need to watch all of your angles, but you also can't solo the enemy team. You can't just 1v4. That's not something that typically works, so you need people to back you up. And actually, we've seen Boise State a couple times throughout this matchup end up 2v4ing, which is very, very nice.
Yeah, Boise State has just been on a tear, especially, Calvin, Reality, especially these 2 matches just been on fire. And it's like anytime we turn to them, it's like, oh, yeah, they are fighting 2 people. Oh, and they got both them and only died to the 3rd or something like that.
Yeah, and then they got them. And then we saw that a lot, especially on the oddball map on that live wire there. In that tower, you were talking about the tower. That seemed to be where we had most of that, and we are going into the game now. Boise State versus Albion College. This is match point for Boise State. We have run 2 rounds in a row, and if we take this Capture the Flag home, we'll end up just taking the night and going to the grand finals.
Yeah, it looks like Mortar getting the active oh, no, they had the thrusters on, and then forgot to swap them out. There we go. Now they have the active camo. Getting some shots off here.
Sneaky.
Sneaking around. Oh,
Ooh, wanted
nice.
to find him, but Mortar's gonna predict that and end up getting Sir Paradox instead.
Calvin with the flag here. Reality getting some shots on him. The flag moving up. Oh, Albion actually getting Boise State's flag. So now it's on Reality to go and bring the flag back just to make sure that Calvin can turn in flag. And just like that, one flag captured, leaving Boise State to... You know, they get the momentum here. They don't have to get any more flag points if they need. They just have to deny Albion. If they can get more, it's obviously better. But
Yep.
all the pressure's on Albion to go and recapture a point back.
And they got to win not 1, not 2, but 3 team fights with Boise State. And going down a member, not looking like this team fight's going to be one for them.
Yep. Reality popping their shields there and getting the kill. Reality already on a killing spree here. Mortar going down just barely. Looks like we got Calvin on the flank here. Knows where they are. Those thrusters getting them away from the dynamo grenades. Keeping them healthy enough that the sidekick doesn't bring them down. Paired up with them. And going for the flags here.
Calvin D's doing a little bit of tricky stuff, trying to see what they can do.
Looks like Albion's just going for their own push instead. No one seems to know that Zeke's up here. Zeke.
Or nobody seems to be able to respond, is what we've seen so far. Zeke got several eliminations. You got to think that might help Boise get their second flag capture, which they do, leaving Boise State 2 to Albion's nothing.
Mortar just walked right in there, just saw there was no one guarding it, and just yoinked the flag right out of it.
Wow! That is a hard yoink, just running.
Ooh.
Has all the members of Boise State to cover him here, and is not going to get killed, is going to get their third flag capture before Albion feels like they can even blink or respond.
Mortar decided not to finish turning the flags to how low they are. They're like, here you go, Zeke. Get all the credit for that.
Understandable, but we all know who really brought the flag in.
Reality, getting the active camo again. They've been doing such a good job at just timing these power-ups, making sure they're topped up. Ooh. Unfortunately, oh, no, the battle rifle got him. I thought it was the grenade. Ooh. Using the thrusters there to get out of melee range was very smart. It looks like Calvin still being in the enemy's base, just getting the flag out of there.
Seeing what he can do there. Ooh,
Calvin getting on a killing spree here. Oh, flag goes down again. Calvin brings them down, but goes down themselves, so it looks like flag will most likely be a reset. Yep.
But Boise State is still up 3 to Albion College's nothing.
Yeah.
So even though they are playing a super aggressive game, if they don't capture another flag this whole match, they still win.
Yeah. Even just taking the flag away like that just makes them spend so many resources to just get it back, let alone trying to take Boise State's flag here.
Yep. If you can force them to win one of their fights to reset their flag, and you can repeatedly force that, odds are they're not going to be able to touch your own.
Exactly. We got Reality here bringing down one. I believe we have their flag. Yep. Looks like...
Calvin's running with it.
Ooh, Reality gets the stick here. Plasma grenade. Gets the heat wave and gets out. Very clean.
Ooh, gets that shot off, too.
Wow.
Reality's just 1v4ing right now. That is 4 to Albion College's nothing. Boise State just needs to get one more and take this before time runs out.
Pops their shields there, but unfortunately doesn't get the elimination. Zeke, though, and Mortar getting one of their own each. One thing that Boise State's just been doing phenomenally is just getting those little thrusters power-ups and then just using them to such great effect. It's like they're not like the most impactful in the world, but Boise State is making them feel like a full-blown power item.
It does feel like Boise State has also been able to get around the map just much better than Albion has been able to. I mean, obviously, and it looks like this might be final flag capture for Boise State there. 5-0. I mean, Albion really gave Boise State some trouble on oddball, but capture the flag was not even close.
Yeah, like I don't know who chose capture a flag, but yeah, since it was the only...
It would have been Albion College because they lost the last game mode, so they get to pick the next game mode.
Okay. And just like that, Boise State taking it 3-0.
And with that, Boise State's going to the grand finals. That was the semifinals in ECAC, and Boise State was the winner of that. So we will get to see if who we go against in the grand finals. And Boise State is still your number 1 seeded team, so they're going to be favored no matter who they go against. And Boise State is always looking for talented broadcast production and players. Reach out to them at boisestate.edu/esports to get in on all of the action.
Yeah, that I was not expecting that last game to go as one-sided as it was. Albion really did a phenomenal job in both Slayer and Oddball.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely improved since the last time we saw them, and especially as teams are getting better and learning new strats, because Halo Infinite's only been out for like 5 or 6 months, and teams are really getting their foothold right now. Like, it's nice to see this improvement for all these teams coming forward. Like, this is just the second time we faced them in this series, and it's just you can see the difference. And I think it just came down to we really knew capture flag, especially on Aquarius.
And the map, especially on Aquarius. That was like almost home territory on that last map there, because you've been talking about it all night. Boise State, capture the flag on Aquarius. It's what they know best. So I think it just came down to they really picked the thing Boise State was best at in this final matchup. Do you have anybody specific you'd like to highlight for player of the game?
Calvin D.
Calvin D?
Yep, no doubt about it.
Absolutely, that's solid. They did end up getting 4 out of the flag captures, I think?
Yep, 4 of them, and then Zeke and I believe it was Reality, or it was Mortar, one of the two. Got the last one.
Got the last one. So Calvin D was also popping off on Slayer too. There was a time where nobody came within 10 kills of Calvin D in that entire lobby, and including all the rest of the players of Boise State here. So it is Calvin D. There it is, and it truly doesn't feel like an overstatement to say that Calvin D was kind of the carry of the night.
Yeah, everyone played so well, but anytime you see Calvin here, like, it doesn't matter how many opponents there were, he's bringing down at least 2 of them, it felt like. Even if he ran into all 4 of them, he would find a way.
And the player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. Calvin D is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. And I think they really shine just on both teams, and especially as a member of Boise State. I would say that Oddball, I think, was probably the weakest mode just for Boise State all around, and that includes Calvin D as well here. But even then, he got some highlights, and this was the 2v4.
Yeah, this is the 2v4 here. Calvin bringing down 3 of the 4 as well.
Wow. But Reality, nothing to sneeze at either. Bringing someone down in a 2v4 is just huge in general, and enabled Calvin D to get all the success that they needed. Do you have any big takeaways from this pretty eventful night of Halo semifinals?
I think the main thing is just all these teams are just progressively getting better, including Boise State.
Yeah.
Like, just everyone. So it's very exciting to see, in the future, how much all these teams have improved and what we're going to be seeing, like, for new strategies and how everyone plays the game in general.
And so we'll see that team improvement, and maybe in the rematch for Albion and Boise State, they get closer and closer to taking rounds off of Boise State every single time we play, so maybe they'll be able to do it next time. And with that, as we prepare for the top 5 plays of the game, the top 5 plays of the game are presented to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. From all of us here at Boise State Esports, thank you for joining us here for ECAC Halo semifinals, and earlier in the evening, the Rocket League ECAC semifinals. And Boise State's feeling pretty good tonight after 2 wins. So from all of us here at Boise State, thank you for joining us, and have a great night.